This video has been created as a reference for foreigners working in Japan, to help them file their tax returns. In this video, please check the documents you need for filing your tax return, and how to use your smartphone to navigate the National Tax Agency's website. About filing final income tax return in Japan. In Japan, income tax is based on the income you earn during the year, from January 1st to December 31st Street. You calculate your income yourself, and submit a tax return to the tax office that is in charge of your area, by the filing deadline in the following year. This process allows you to pay any tax you owe, or receive a refund if you have paid too much. This procedure is called a tax return or kakute shinkoku in Japanese. How do you submit your tax return in Japan? There are 3 ways to submit your tax return. First, you can take your tax return paper directly to your local tax office. Second, you can also submit it by posting it in the tax office's after-hours drop box. Third, you can create your tax return on a computer or smartphone, and submit it online using e-tax, through the National Tax Agency's website. If you have a computer or smartphone, why not try filing through online e-tax? It saves you postage costs and a trip to the tax office. The documents you need for filing your tax return. The documents required for filing your tax return are as follows. Gensensho shuhyo, which is a certificate of income and withholding. The following documents are also required for those who run their own business without employees. A document summarizing your income and expenses. My Number card. 2 passwords for the My Number card. Passwords for the electronic certificate of user proof, My PIN number, 4 numeric code. Passwords for the electronic certificate of the bearer's signature, 6 to 16 alphanumeric characters. If you are sending living or educational expenses to relatives living abroad, you may be eligible to claim the dependent deduction. If you wish to claim a dependent deduction for relatives living abroad, you must attach copies of documents concerning relatives, and the originals of documents concerning remittances, to your income tax return forms, or present the documents when filing the final tax return forms. In addition, for relatives living abroad who are 30 years of age or older but under 70, you can claim the dependent deduction only if you have sent him at least 380,000 yen for living or educational expenses during the year for which you are filing the return. Furthermore, in case the set of documents concerning relatives, or documents concerning remittances, is prepared in a foreign language, a Japanese translation must be attached. In case where such documents are submitted or presented to payers who are obliged to withhold income tax for withholding at the source of salaries, public pensions, or the year-end adjustment, it is not necessary to attach such documents to the final tax return forms or to present them. When you submit your tax return on paper, you must also submit the following document together with your tax return: your copies of documents concerning relatives, and the originals of your documents concerning remittances. Even when you file your tax return using e-tax, you still need to submit your copies of documents concerning relatives and the originals of your documents concerning remittances. Please send these documents by mail, or bring them in person to your local tax office after filing. There are two ways to file an income tax return: by filling out a paper return form by hand, or by preparing it on the National Tax Agency's website. Here, we will explain how to file an income tax return using a smartphone through the National Tax Agency's website. For Android users, please open Google Chrome. For iPhone users, please use Safari. Then search for Kokusatio and access the National Tax Agency website. Tap Final Tax Return Preparation corner of Tax Return Procedures. How to translate the National Tax Agency Tax Return Preparation corner for Android users. Tap the three-dot button on the right side of Google Chrome's address bar. Tap Translate from the menu. Tap Other Languages from the menu. From the displayed languages, tap the one you want to translate to. The web page will be translated into the selected language. How to translate the National Tax Agency Tax Return Preparation corner for iPhone users. Tap the button on the left side of Safari's address bar. Tap Translate from the menu. The web page will be translated into the selected language. Next, follow the instructions on your smartphone screen. For instructions on how to enter the information, please refer to the manual available on National Tax Agency website. The location of the manual is shown on the next slide. Open the National Tax Agency website. Scroll down to the bottom. Tap Organizations, National Taxation Bureau, Tax Office, Tax College, etc. Tap Nagoya Regional Taxation Bureau. Tap List of banners. Please select the language you speak by tapping on it. I'll choose English this time. Tap Income Tax for Reconstruction Guide. Tap Page 1 to 72. A manual will be shown. Please enter the information according to the instructions provided. When you have questions about filing a tax return. If you have any questions after watching this video, please first visit the National Tax Agency's website. There are two ways to find information. The first way is by using the AI chatbot called Zayamushakuan for Taba, Tax Officer for Taba. You can access the website through the QR code. Then, you can choose your question from the menu, or type it in yourself. The chatbot will give you an answer. The second way is by using Tax Answer. This service gives general answers to common tax questions. For general tax consultations, you can call the Telephone Consultation Center, which is set up at each regional taxation bureau. At the center, tax officers will answer your questions. So please call the phone number shown on the screen. The service is available on weekdays, from 8:30 a.m. until 5 p.m. If your question cannot be solved by the AI chatbot called Zayamushakuan for Taba, tax officer for TABA or by tax answer, or even by a phone consultation, you can visit your local tax office for help. At the tax office, staff will provide consultation. As enough time needs to be set aside, and because you may need to bring certain documents, you must make an appointment in advance. Please contact by phone the tax office in charge of the area where you live by phone. No appointment is required for submitting your tax return forms.